Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia Association for Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual Transfer College Fair. I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This presentation is being recorded, as well as all the other presentations that happened earlier this evening, and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Virginia. And now, I would like to turn it over to our first presenter of the evening, Pennsylvania College of Technology.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lee Dawson. I'm with the Pennsylvania College of Technology. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see a little presentation I have for you.
Any college can make you look good on paper. At Penn College, we're more into looking good on steel. And looking good on x-rays, with looking good in code. With extra miles taken on airstrips and suspension bridges. Building and rebuilding. Vision and revisions. With perfect stitches and smiles. With making something that already looks good look even better. We look amazing on a plate, even if it's only for a minute. And when it's time to rest, we'll build a robot who can look good for us. And when it's all said and done and made and seen, you'll look good to everyone. Because the past might be written on paper, but the future will be made by hand.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. One of the things that about Penn College, I'll just kind of give you a little background on us. We're located in the kind of central part of Pennsylvania. We are a special missions affiliate of the Penn State University. What makes us unique is that we are a hands-on institution that offers both associate degrees and bachelor's degrees. So the idea behind Penn College is that we're an institution designed specifically for those students who really like to do in a hands-on way. If you like learning by doing hands-on, this is a great opportunity for you in a school like Pennsylvania College of Technology. Our size is about 5,400 to 6,000 students, and of that population, about 2,000 students live on campus. At Penn College, we offer over 100 majors here at the college, and no matter what you do, it's going to be a hands-on major. That is to say, for every hour you might spend in the classroom, you're going to do about 3 hours of hands-on time at Penn College. So any given week, a student will have as much as 20 hours of hands-on development time. Students can do majors such as construction, nursing, dental hygiene, culinary, business, early childhood education, just a number of these different things, just to give you an example. One of the things that makes this school work so well is that because of the hands-on aspect of the institution, because of that, we have a 98% graduate placement rate. And one of the reasons for that is employees see a lot of our students who come out from this school already having these skill sets, who don't need to be trained, who know how to do it, who have had a lot of hands-on time working within the institution. There's over 150 plus labs at Penn College, modern labs designed to mimic the real world. So when you come in, you're actually working in an institution that actually has actual facilities that mimic what you're going to see in the actual real world as you go out there. Average class size at Penn College is about 16 students in a classroom, and sometimes less than that. What our philosophy on Penn College is that we want to give education to every student as possible. So we make the application process pretty simple here. So basically, the process for becoming enrolled at Penn College is that you complete an application, you submit your materials, whether it's a high school transcript or a college transcript. We evaluate those transcripts to see whether or not you need to do any type of placement testing. And if you don't have to do placement testing, then you're welcome then to just be accepted to the college. Short of that, that's kind of the nutshell of what we do at Penn College, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. Our second college for this evening is we're going to hear from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. As a former transfer student, it's awesome to be kind of talking to some other transfer students. To get us started, I wanted to go ahead and jump straight into the campus just because I think that that's the easiest place to start. University of Maryland, Baltimore County is exactly where it sounds. We're located in Catonsville, Maryland, which is about, I would say, 15 minutes away from like Baltimore City, but also only about 45 minutes away from DC. So being in the county affords us a ton of space. It allows the campus to be open and green and pretty self-sustaining overall. So looking at this, you know, it might be kind of intimidating. The campus is 500 acres, but I promise you it doesn't have to feel quite that large. It's really easy to navigate from class to class. We have a lot of students who are double minoring, double majoring, sometimes in completely different fields. So we make sure that it's easy to get around the campus. You don't have to hop in your car to get from place to place and things like that. That's really us sticking to, you know, making the liberal arts curriculum manageable and easy and accessible. But I think that's kind of an important thing to know about the campus overall. To kind of keep us moving in the UMBC 101, like the basics of things that you should really know about us, we have about 11,000 undergraduate students and about 3,000 graduate students. Of those 11,000 undergraduate students, about half of our students are transfer students, which is amazing. So you would definitely not be, you know, the only transfer student in your class, the only person with that experience, and really definitely not the only person coming from Virginia as well. We have what I like to call a Goldilocks effect. And so that's basically our students say we're not too big, but we're not too small. And so 11,000 students is a really nice number. That means you can have a community feel, you can get to know your professors, you can do research with them. But we also have all of the amazing things of a really big institution. We bring in about $85 to $100 million in research funding every year. We've got a couple Rhodes Scholars that have come from UMBC in the last couple of years as well. So we're definitely doing really interesting things, but you can still scale that down and build a nice family for yourself. In regards to majors, we have 61 majors. I would say overall, the most popular majors on campus would be computer science, engineering, but also psychology and social work. We're close to 2 major cities. They're hubs for tech and social services. So you'll see a lot of those kinds of majors flourishing on campus. And another thing that we really pride ourselves on would be applied learning. So taking that kind of skill set and building it outside of the classroom. About 82% of our students will complete an internship or research, whether that be they pilot the research themselves or they're working with faculty or they're working with classmates, or they'll do education abroad. And I think that really speaks to kind of the big school resources that we have at UMBC that really are of benefit to our students overall. In regards to the transfer application process, this is very, very streamlined. It starts with the common application, which makes it easy right off the bat. The common application makes things really, really simple if you're applying to multiple different colleges and they happen to be on the common app, but it's a pretty intuitive system overall too. So it's nice to get through that application, there's not too many hiccups along the way. Another thing aside from the common application would be your transcripts. So you can submit unofficial transcripts if you've got classes in progress, we totally understand. But if you're done with your coursework, you can go ahead and send us official transcripts and we'll use those in our review. The only other component of the application process in terms of materials would be letters of recommendation. They're optional, but as an admissions counselor, I do have to stress them. They're an awesome way for us to kind of get to know you a little bit more outside of the Common App essay, outside of any other information that you might be including. Just from the perspective of someone else, it's always really helpful in our review. Looking at deadlines, you'll see that there are 2 different deadlines for each term. There's a priority deadline and a regular decision deadline. And if you're looking past spring 2022, that's totally okay. These deadlines stay the same. So for the fall, March 1st and June 1st, and then for the spring, October 1st and December 1st. So those are the deadlines. If you're looking to get scholarship consideration, if you just want to be early and get, first dibs on orientation, I really recommend priority if you can. But if you happen to miss it, no worries. You have until that regular decision deadline to apply. And then the last thing that I want to stress, because I really wish that I had had this a couple years ago when I was transferring, would be Transfer Central. This is an awesome tool that you can use now. You can find it at transfer.umbc.edu. And essentially you can say, for example, I'm taking classes at Nova Community College. I want to pursue a biology Bachelor of Science. And then it will show you how your classes will transfer to UMBC and how far along it will put you in those degree paths. So super, super handy. You can add things as you take classes. You can, play hypotheticals. It's an awesome tool to have kind of in the back of your pocket. So make sure that you check it out. And that's really all that I have for UMBC today, but thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, Caitlin. Next up, we're going to go to Salem College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Celeste Tanner, and I am an admissions counselor at Salem College. So we are located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is not too far away from Virginia. I'm from Virginia myself, and it only takes me about 4 hours to get home to the Northern Neck, King George specifically. So at a glance, like I said, we're located in Winston-Salem. We're a women's college, and we're actually the oldest women's educational institution in the country. We were founded in 1772, so we are older than the Declaration of Independence. We're about to celebrate our 250th anniversary. We are a liberal arts college, like some of the other speakers here today. So you'll really be educated as a full student. You'll have classes in the humanities and the sciences and the arts, and make sure you're a really well-rounded student by the time you graduate. We're ranked number 3 of liberal arts colleges in North Carolina and 24th in the country. And we're ranked 10th in social mobility. So we are all about educating students and making sure that everyone has access to a high quality education. So we have really good financial aid packages and things going on, especially for Pell eligible students and for first generation students. We have a small student body, so we have actually fewer than 1,000 undergraduate students, but we have a really small, tight-knit community. So we have a 10-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio with an average class size of 12 to 15 students. This means that when your professors are doing research, they'll ask you if you'd like to join in. And so we have a lot of students who end up being peer-reviewed, published authors by the time they graduate. The other thing is this is really helpful if you're applying to graduate programs or to jobs after college, to have such good relationships with your professors. And so a really small student to faculty ratio is helpful in that. About 42% of our students identify as women of color. And we have some really high, so diversity is really important on campus. And we have 100% acceptance rate into law school, as well as a 89.6% acceptance rate into medical school and health-related programs. So Salem just recently made a big announcement that has been in the works for a couple of years now, but we will now be the nation's only liberal arts college dedicated to elevating and expanding the role of women in health leadership. So what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that we are preparing our students to be more than just doctors and pharmacists. Although we do have quite a few students who go into those fields. There's also so many aspects of health where women are just not at the table as much as they should be in positions of leadership. So these are some areas that a lot of our students have had success in. And so we are really putting a lot of resources into preparing our students to be leaders in the health industry. So we have a couple new majors that we're really, really excited to offer in the fall, as well as a new minor. But if you don't want to take one of those majors, you can of course major in the arts, humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. Now, obviously, outside of the classroom learning is really important too. So 100% of our students complete internships, And if you'd like to take classes at a larger institution, we have cross-registration at Wake Forest University for no extra tuition. We participate in Division III athletics, and we have 6 sports teams, as well as 31 active clubs and student organizations. Like I said, this health leadership is a really great initiative. So there'll be tons of opportunities for yearly programming, speaker series, partnerships with nonprofits that you can participate in as a student. Now, how do you actually apply? Well, submit an application first. We're available on Common App, or you can go to our website, just salem.edu/apply. We'll need your official high school and college transcripts, but again, if you are currently, enrolled in classes, we can have your unofficial college transcripts to admit you. You'll need a minimum of a 2.0 GPA, as well as a teacher recommendation and a dean's release form, which can be found on our website. We also ask for a really small writing sample, and so this can be a personal statement, but it can also be if you, wrote something in a class that you're especially proud of, you can also submit that. We are test optional, and we offer rolling admissions with a free application. So there's really no reason not to apply. Like I said, we're also pretty affordable. So we have merit-based scholarships, including the Transfer Merit Scholarship of $12,000 per year for students with a GPA of 3.25 or higher, as well as art and music scholarships. And we also have financial aid that is need-based. We'd love for you to get to know us a little bit better. So if you'd like to attend a virtual tour, you can do so from the comfort of your own home, or if you'd rather, you can drive down to Winston-Salem. We're currently offering in-person tours. You can just call that number, and it's really easy to sign up for one. If you have any questions about transferring to Salem College, please feel free to give me an email and shoot me a quick message, and I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. But thank you so much for attending, and I hope you got to learn a little bit more about Salem.
Thank you so much, Ray Celeste. Next up, we are going to go to Eastern Mennonite University.
Great, thank you so much. How are you all doing? My name is David Yoder. I'm an admissions counselor from Eastern Mennonite University who works with transfer students, so hopefully I am in the right place. If you haven't heard of Eastern Mennonite University, we are located in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is a pretty cool town. It's close to George Washington National Forest, Shenandoah National Park, Skyline Drive, the Shenandoah River, and Massanutten Resort. And one thing I always like to point out with this map is that we're close to a lot of things. We're close to Washington, D.C., about an hour and a half drive away. Charlottesville's 45 minutes, Richmond's about an hour and a half as well. So you can get to a lot of places from Harrisonburg. We do have a smaller student body, approximately 1,000 students in our undergraduate program. So you are going to get lots of personal attention, and we are a high achieving campus. You can see some of the high school GPAs and standardized test scores we have. For transfer students, we do just look for a 2.0 GPA. So admission is a little bit easier because you've proven yourself at another college, but we do achieve at a high level, whether you're a first year or transfer student. And we have some really cool facilities for students coming in now. We have brand new lab spaces, as well as a totally remodeled science center. We do offer over 50 different majors and minors. You can see a list here, and I know this is really quick, so you can always visit our website and see this list as well. I do want to highlight that an EMU education is an investment. 98% of our job-seeking graduates are employed in graduate school or serving in a full-time position of some type within 1 year of graduation. We have an 81% acceptance rate into medical school, 85% to PA programs, and 93% to physical therapy schools. 100% of our nursing graduates were offered jobs before graduation. 100% of our teacher education program grads were employed within 6 months of graduation. And 100% of our 2019 accounting grads who sat for the CPA passed the exam. So we do achieve great results. And one of the reasons for this is, like I said before, we're a smaller school. We have a median class size of 15, a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you do really get to know professors. They become mentors and lifelong friends who you consult even after graduation. And that doesn't just end in the classroom. We do provide some incredible experiences and internships for our students. That includes nursing clinicals. Our nursing students do about 30 hours more than what's mandated by the state when it comes to clinicals. So when they step into a hospital for the first time, they do feel really confident. And we have an awesome program in Washington, D.C. We own a house there. You can live there for a semester and do an internship that's based around your interests, as well as take classes at a D.C. area university. And we also have a really robust study abroad program. So you can do this as a semester, a summer trip, or like I said, in Washington, D.C. And for transfer students, this is a requirement, but you can actually fulfill that requirement through a 3-credit class that takes place on our campus. So if it doesn't work for your lifestyle, I know transfer students are coming from a lot of different sort of life circumstances, you can do that as an on-campus class. If you do want to go abroad, we travel pretty much everywhere in the world, and I'd really recommend the program. I think it's one of the really special things that we offer. And, you know, events aren't limited to going abroad or in the classroom. We have a lot of stuff going on campus, even though we are a smaller school. That includes things like our trivia night, our fall fest, homecoming. It's one of the things that drew me to EMU was there was always something going on campus. Students also have access to all of our facilities, climbing wall, our fitness center, intramural sports, some of our amazing clubs and organizations, and our student services. I do want to highlight, we have a health and wellness center on campus, so you can see a doctor without leaving campus. And we do offer free counseling for all students to help you make the adjustment to college. We are a private school associated with the Mennonite Church. You'll see that in some values on campus like discipleship, community, service, and peace. And we do emphasize leadership. One example of this is Lema Bowie. She graduated from EMU in 2009, and in 2011 won the Nobel Peace Prize. So that's one example of ways that our graduates are making a difference. When it comes to the court, we are NCAA Division III. You can see the sports we offer here. And if you're not playing a sport, the fan experience is awesome and a big bonus of being an EMU student. And finally, I know you're wondering, how am I going to pay for this? We are a private school, and some people worry about the cost, but 99% of our undergraduates receive financial aid, and our average assistance package is over $37,000. So I would encourage you to visit and apply. We do have in-person visits. You can sign up by going to emu.edu/visit or fill out our free application at emu.edu/apply. For transfer students, the only thing you need to send in are your transcripts from the last school you attended. As long as you've taken more than 30 credits, then submit the FAFSA. I'll go over your financial aid notification with you, and we can move on to the next steps. Remember, filling out the application and getting a credit evaluation is always obligation-free. I'm happy to do that at any time. Here's my contact information. Thank you so much. Love to hear from you.
Thank you, David. And next up, we are going to go to UVA School of Continuing and Professional Studies.
Good evening, everyone. Appreciate you joining us this evening. My name is Colin Alford, and I am a recruitment outreach specialist with the School of Continuing and Professional Studies at UVA. I'm joined tonight by Christy Mendoza-McCall, another recruitment outreach specialist with the school. She'll be responding to any questions you may have and is going to add our contact information into the chat. We are excited to tell you about our Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies degree, or BIS degree. This degree was developed with real intentionality around serving the specific needs of adult learners with a larger goal of creating greater access to a UVA liberal arts degree. We are the only one of the 12 academic schools at UVA that offers an online, flexible undergraduate degree option with part-time course loads and evening classes. Over 90% of our students come with coursework or degrees from one or more colleges. However, having earned an associate's degree is not required. While there is no age requirement for our programs, we are starting to see more younger students apply. Most of our students are working adults. We recognize many of our students are juggling school with full-time work and/or family responsibilities. Our synchronous live classes meet one evening a week, usually from 7 to 9:45 p.m., which creates a wonderful opportunity for real-time engagement with your professors and your peers. Last fall, we began offering classes during lunchtime, and they typically meet 2 days a week from 12 to 1:15 p.m. The time to complete a BIS degree varies. It depends on your individual life circumstances and the number of transfer credits awarded at admission. A typical student who enters with 60 semester credit hours and takes 2 courses during the fall, spring, and summer will graduate in just over 3 years. We care deeply about student success, and we've integrated support and resources throughout your journey. Our unique pre-admission advising service provides preliminary transcript evaluation prior to you applying. New student orientation, held in January and August, builds a sense of community, lets you meet your peers and your cohorts, connects you with resources at the university, and prepares you for our online learning tool. Your faculty advisor will work with you each term prior to registration to discuss your plans, goals, and/or concerns. We pride ourselves on having exceptional, talented professors who've sought out the opportunity to teach in our program. They're experienced in advising and working with adult learners. Our small classes focus on collaboration and engagement and provide you with the opportunity to be known. You're not just a number. The BIS degree has 4 components: foundational seminars, a concentration which is similar to a minor, degree electives which are determined by the number of transfer credits awarded at admission, and lastly, a capstone project or senior's thesis. The capstone allows you to focus and learn more about an area of personal, professional, or academic interest. In essence, it's a way that you can tailor this part of the degree to your needs, interests, or aspirations. We do require that at least 60 semester credit hours be completed at UVA in order for you to earn your degree. You select your concentration when you submit your application, and except for the healthcare management concentration, each concentration requires 18 credit hours or 6 classes. Healthcare management is 24. You can see the prerequisites for the business and psychology concentrations, and these must be completed prior to you declaring this concentration. Students are also allowed to switch concentrations early on in their program. The pre-admission transcript evaluation is for students who are interested in or planning to apply. You upload your unofficial transcripts to our website and then receive detailed feedback about where you stand in relationship to our admission requirements. The sooner we're in touch, the better, and we often work with students for several semesters prior to you applying. We can help you track what courses you may need to apply to our program, or if you are currently in a program, you can complete those classes at your local community college. Because this is a high-touch process, students who have gone through the admissions evaluation typically gain admission. The BIS requirements are listed here. You'll notice there is no foreign language requirement and SATs are not required. You need a minimum of 45 transferable credits with a grade of C or higher from a regionally accredited college or university, and those are used to satisfy our liberal studies core. You must be in good standing with at least a 2.0 at the last college you attended. We're looking for good performance in your most recent coursework. We're looking for those upward trends. Please remember, these are basic criteria to be eligible for admission and not a checklist for acceptance into the program. BIS applicants use our SEPS application, not the common application. We admit students for either a fall or spring admission, and if you have AP or IB credit, we ask that you send those official score reports. With a letter of recommendation, we do recommend that that be a professor or an employer, not a family member or friend. We take a comprehensive look at each applicant to help determine fit and potential for success. Again, due to the time and effort we invest in pre-admission, we have a relatively high acceptance rate and room to grow the program. Thank you again for joining us this evening. We realize you may have a lot of questions and we've covered a lot of information in a short period of time, but hope you'll reach out to either myself or Christy, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you. And unfortunately, West Virginia University was unable to make it this evening. So that wraps it up for our 5 schools presenting. However, I'd like to invite all of our panelists to join me back on so I can ask them a question and they can all answer in the order that they presented. And feel free to share with our students, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Well, this is Penn College. I think our favorite tradition that we do is what we call Welcome Weekend. Welcome Weekend, what we do is all of our campus community gathers together to help move our students in. We carry their luggage, we carry their tools, we carry their equipment all up to their rooms and help them get settled in. And we make a day of celebration, and that culminates with us, all faculty and staff, lining up and sharing our new enrollees as they come into the quad for celebration night, just celebrating that they've started this new chapter in their journey.
For UMBC, I would say one of my favorite traditions, although I haven't been able to see it yet, would be homecoming. I always hear stories from students about homecoming. It is a week of like traditions at UMBC back to back. As soon as classes are over, everyone kind of spills out onto the different fields on campus and takes part in all different kinds of activities. But the best part is that it kicks off on Friday with a comedian coming to campus. It's been Trevor Noah the last 2 years, which is so exciting. And then there's a huge 2-story bonfire on Erickson Field. There's just about a permanent burn mark on Erickson Field from that bonfire that happens every single year. And everyone just kind of hangs out and, you know, gets to know new people and listens to music, and it's just a lot of fun.
I think my favorite tradition at Salem is Fall Fest, and that's one day in the fall where all of the classes do this kind of class competition where the first years go against the sophomores and the juniors and the seniors, and they have 3 skits throughout the day. It starts at like the crack of dawn with seniors waking up everyone in the dorms with pots and pans, and the Winston-Salem State Drumline comes in. And it's literally at like 5:30 in the morning. And so the day starts off really early, and it's just a really fun, spirited day of competition. Classes are canceled for Fall Fest. So the day of Fall Fest is always, everyone goes to campus, even faculty members, to kind of watch the performances, but they have artwork and matching clothes and t-shirts. And so it's a really fun community celebration. And by students' senior year, they're ready to win. So the seniors always go real, full out.
Yeah, and at EMU, a tradition that I think is really cool is every year when people start their classes, whether they're a first year or transfer student, when they're starting for the first time, after the first day of orientation where they're moved into the dorms or into apartment housing and meet with their advisors, the day ends with at 9 o'clock at night, we go to a fountain at the center of campus, and there's a whole bunch of coins thrown into it. Students like jump in, fish out a coin, and then when they graduate, that coin is made into a pin that they can wear on the lapel of their graduation robes. So it sort of symbolizes the journey from that first day when you're jumping into the fountain to the end when you're walking across stage at graduation.
So one of the most special traditions with UVA is our graduation. Exactly 250 years ago, Thomas Jefferson graduated with honors and started the tradition of walking the lawn. And it's a highlight of every undergraduate and graduate experience and the focal point of our final exercises today.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing. And thank you for taking time out of your day to present to our students and families. And for those who joined in watching, thank you for joining us. We do really appreciate it. After you close out of this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other sessions that happen this evening's recordings at strivescan.com/Virginia. Thank you all, and thank you to our panelists, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.